Welcome to Atlanta, jacking hammers and bows. Back to the mackin' and jacking the clothes. Adolescents packing the foes. A knock on the door. Who is it? I would happen to know, the one with the flow. Who did it? It was me, I suppose. JD in the rolls and Luda's in the cut supreme. Skating down old Nat Gat.
Hello again, it's Justin Harris on consistent basis. Today I have Chris Petty.
Hello, man.
Yo, how's it going, man? How's it going?
Man, you know, can't complain too much, man.
Yeah.
Suburban living, you know, man.
Yeah.
Salute to you for coming up, man. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
I rock with the channel heavy, you know. So.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate that, man. So, a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. So, let's go to the beginning, the very beginning. Okay, so what made Chris Petty want to get into battle rap? Or so.
Well, I watched Iron Solomon versus Flames.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. So, my cousin Mark, known as Deuce in the battle rap world, we were at my apartment one night, and he was talking to me about this guy. He was like, "Yo, bro, you're gonna love this. You gotta check it out." So, actually, I guess Deuce would be the reason why, but he flipped on YouTube and pulled up Iron Solomon. The first one we watched was Verse Flames, and then from that one I was just obsessed. I think it ended up being like 7 a.m. We were still up watching battles and shit. I mean, we went like from to Party Arty and you know, everything like that. We just started going. I mean, Mosh Gelton, the Grindtime scene and everything like that.
Yeah, you're showing your age now.
Yeah. I mean, like, it was just the WRCs. We started watching all that.
Damn.
So, Sid Vicious, who was and still is an amazing battler, who has blessed our platform a couple of times before. You know, we started going down to Apache Cafe in Atlanta, and we linked up with Drez the Beatnik and started just going back and forth. And that was actually the first time, for those that don't know, it's the first time I ever stepped on stage and battled somebody.
And who was?
It was all freestyle. I don't remember the kid's name.
Yeah.
He was dressed like 7 different type of Easter baskets, and I just jumped up there and just started going.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, like, I did really well. And then, you know, if you've ever been to Apache Cafe, which is a staple in Atlanta, there's the green room in the back for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So we back there and we're all talking and everything like that, and we just start freestyling back and forth, all of us. And Reed Richards from the WRCs, who was kind of a freestyle legend, proceeded to smoke my fucking boots. And I'm talking about I left the soul melted to the floor, walked out that bitch head down, just didn't know what to say, didn't know who he was. And like Sid had told me, Sid and Deuce were like, no. And I said,
he was like, I got this. And got smoked.
And what happened was I got my ass whooped. So yeah, that's
your introduction into battle rap.
My introduction into battle rap. And at that point is when I realized that I could be a much better organizer than a rapper. You know, I didn't understand cadence and structures, and I also didn't understand that a lot of these guys just had this stuff just in their head, just sitting there, bars on deck. You know, I'm not from that era. I'm just a kid from, you know, from Atlanta that moved to the suburbs at a very young age, and you know, I never quite fit in with the crowd that was around me. Yeah. You know, so I always kind of stayed going down towards the city and just being around that the culture of hip hop and the underground scene, from showcases to everything like that. And I got this idea, and I had spent a lot of time in California and worked for a company, and contacted a guy that worked for that was a production house, and said, "Yo, I got this idea. Would you be interested in investing?" And so I reached out to Direct on YouTube. And I said, you ever thought about an Atlanta division? And
Grindtime.
yeah.
Grindtime.
And he, you know, basically, I got kind of shrugged off. I stumbled onto the jungle and became obsessed with that style of battle rap.
Yeah.
That slow it down, that heavy punch style, that the shit the S.O.N.S created. And next thing you know, I'm talking to QP and Conceited and Heartless and Jay Fox and Bricks.
Yeah.
And from there, they kind of put me in touch with Direct, which from there put me in touch with Lush. We started building. And y'all got to keep in mind, man, at that time, we were just a bunch of kids, all of us. I mean, I was early 20s, you know, everybody else is younger than me, really, and you know, business wasn't the top priority, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I had a better understanding of business. You know, there's an interview out with me and Lush, that we'll dive into that in a minute, but yeah, man, that was pretty much the beginning of it. You know, me and Deuce, we became members of S.O.N.S.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But yeah, we went down to Grizzlemania. We were there when Immaculate Battle Conceited. Down there is where I started managing Conceited.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. That was the first artist I ever managed, was Conceited. And you know, we set up a few battles here and there. And then the big fallout happened with me and Lush. And
yeah, and that's where I wanted to go with that also. Like, so what was the fallout? Because what exactly happened?
Okay, so when I say that we were a bunch of kids and money and paperwork and things were not top priority, when you have somebody that's ready to invest a lot of money into something, all that stuff has to be in place. And unfortunately for us, it wasn't. It's public record.
Yeah.
Grindtime didn't become a solidified business until about a year after I left. No LLCs, no anything like that. Just 3 guys, Mad Hills, Lush One, and Direct. You know, and originally it started out just Lush One and Mad Hills. They went to school together or something like that. It's been a long time. But basically the fallout was we had a bunch of money. I got some paperwork sent to me. Started looking at it, and it was paying this person and paying that person. And, you know, it was a lot of people putting money in their own pocket that wasn't necessarily. My idea was event-based, not personal gain-based. And, you know, we had talked about doing some T-shirts and things like that. The T-shirt story is hilarious. So the guy that the original T-shirt story is this, that I made off with like 10 grand or 20 grand capped out, stole a bunch of money from Grindtime. Let me explain something.
Oh shit.
Money in battle rap has never existed.
Never.
Never. From back then to now. Nobody is caking up off of this in any kind of serious manner. Y'all can think that URL is and the King of the Dots, and you know, they're able to sustain. Yeah, those 2 entities can sustain. They got the blueprint from us.
That's true.
Grindtime, King of the Dot was a brand that Grindtime shouted out in our videos. Go support go support King of the Dot. You know, that was something that we were shouting them out. Lush and I, you know, we had a big fallout over some shirts and some bullshit.
So it was over some shirts and
over some shirts and
that's
some bullshit.
Crazy.
Now here's the funniest thing: we did an interview. Parts of it are out. I don't think the whole thing's out when Revelations was here last year.
Yeah.
For y'all that don't know, Lush hosted ABR's Revelations event, which was crazy for anybody who knows battle rap history, because that was the first time him and I had been on stage in 8 years.
Yeah.
That was monumental. That was big for me. That was big for him. Because you know, he openly admitted he lied about a lot of things as far as things that occurred and that I stole money and this and that. He was like, I just wanted to hurt him. You know, I was just a kid from Oakland that was trying to, you know, and I understood where he was coming from.
Yeah.
So, you know, like 8 years later, I mean, and this was a real beef. You guys talk battle rap beef. This was a thing that if we ever got in the vicinity of each other,
It's going down.
it was on site. Literally on site.
And that, for the record, that diss track he put out was trash.
So petty.
Liar can't live by his word. Yeah, that's petty. He a snitch, evidence he returned. Yeah, that's petty. He'll sell his soul just to stack if he wins. Yeah, that's petty. He chose.
Yo, let me
trash.
Let me explain something. I have 3 rounds for Lush anytime he's ready. And we can revisit that because that was the first time I ever really put pen to paper was a response to him. I never released it. Shout out to Nestle for producing my diss track.
Wow.
From Lush to me, you asshole. You from Atlanta. We were supposed to ride together. What'd you do? You produced the damn beat for it. That's fine though. It's fine. We moved on. I'm not bitter. But yeah, man, it was just, you know, nobody knew business. Battle rap wasn't a business. It was a street thing. It was a, you know, Grindtime was the first real entity online to put together content where people were paying to come to events, and we had the biggest names that you've ever seen. And then URL came along, which is also my fault apparently. Shout out to Norbs and Beasley and Smack and all them over there. You know, the story goes that I tore Grindtime apart. Even though that it lasted like 4 years after I left.
Yeah.
I apparently ended Grindtime. I was the lead guy on booking Murder Mook versus T-Rex versus Math Hoffa, which ended up being URL's very first call.
Yes. Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. So I get the blame. A lot of the times, like, what's crazy is I just had a conversation with P, salute to my man P over at URL, where we were discussing things, and he was like, you know, he's like, I've heard the stories about you're the reason, you know, this and that, and I'm like, God, you gotta be kidding me.
Damn it.
So yeah, you know, all that happened. My family had gotten involved in it. You battle rappers got to be careful with this shit. I'm not, like, first and foremost, I'm not a battler. I know I battle, but I'm not a battler. And I'm from a different era, man. My wife at the time had gotten dragged into it. A lot of slander her way.
Yeah.
This had nothing to do with her. And I'm not the type of dude that takes that shit lightly. So, you know, I decided to leave battle rap. It wasn't worth it to me. There was no money. I was just spending money. And I decided to leave. I never fully left though. Like I watched the culture and I still dabbled here and there. I set up a couple of little matchups. I helped some different leagues with bookings and paying basically. Yeah. And you know, I never fully left. I guess my first real reintroduction into battle rap full time was I started getting involved with Sonny Bamboo and over at Don't Fly, and you know, the classic battle of Math Hoffa versus Chilla Jones was a card that I was a part of, helped put together that situation. For those that don't know, Math Hoffa was originally supposed to battle T-Top on that card, and it was blocked.
Can we say why it was blocked?
You know, at the time, you know, T-Top was up and coming, and you know, there's paperwork in place and things like that. I mean, it's not really a block. It's just, hey, you know, we would prefer you if you didn't do this. We have a plan, and you know, I can't get mad when people do that. If you're building your name at a league, and they've invested time and money and these things into you, then you should show some type of brand loyalty, even though there should be some type of understanding, because at that time, URL wasn't really traveling. So to see T-Top, this was the only other option because he had left Spit That Heat. You know, he had moved on from Spit That Heat.
Yes.
And nobody in Atlanta has seen Math Hoffa live unless you were in New York. You know what I'm saying? So the ideas that we had for the cards with Don't Flop were to bring these names down. I mean, we had the first 2-on-2, I might add. We brought back the 2-on-2. Let me rephrase that. We brought back the 2-on-2.